Welcome back to another episode of the School Sucks series. That was an alliteration, and that's your first lesson of the day, kid. Now buckle up, because we got a show for you today. I'm your host, JB.
And I'm producer Brooke.
And that was a really cringy intro, but...
Yes, now I will be taking over the show, because you don't have this privilege anymore.
Oh, sugar.
Today we'll be talking about, just kind of how schools aren't very good at teaching. More specifically, like their teaching methods.
Yeah. It makes us want to go to sleep. And then we have to joke about how 5th graders need to sleep, not kindergarteners. We're in 5th grade, by the way. Yeah, that's a thing. So, anyway.
I don't want to think about when I was in 5th grade, alright?
Yeah, it's like a distant dream. But anyway, so the school system basically sucks at teaching you well. It just doesn't do it. So... what I wanted to get into was not super duper formal, well, they do this with language arts and this with math and this is going to make you dumber, because that's all, good to talk about, but, I mean, it's kind of boring. So,
yeah.
Let's just talk about some more broader, sort of larger view things. So basically, when you go to school, you're not actually going to where, humans almost always learn for 99% of our history, which is, outside. You're going to these stuffy, secluded buildings where, well, that's just not normal. I mean, that's literally not normal. So you're already starting off pretty badly. And then everything they do makes it worse. Everything makes it worse. They don't do anything right. Because when you're in the classroom, you are seated next to your friends. Now that's not inherently bad. However, what is bad is you being told, well, now we're gonna sit you next to all your friends and you shall not talk to them because you need to focus on us. Eyes on me, little Jimmy. And if you step out, well, we're gonna have to you're gonna have to sit in the back of the room and face the wall. That's real punishment.
We've covered this topic a lot, how, it's really boring to have to learn in school with all the distractions going on and how you don't really want to learn.
Yeah, it fries your brain, to be quite honest with you, when you're being told, you must focus, but I want to talk to my friends, or, the wall is much more interesting than what's coming out of the teacher's mouth. Or... my own thoughts are much more interesting than what's coming out of the teacher's mouth, quite frankly. So it kind of fries your brain, and it makes you it makes you go a little insane.
Now, I do actually want to talk about a little bit of, math teaching ways, because it's very dumb, and I don't know if everyone experiences this, probably in, the U.S., but it's not good. So, for example, back in 4th, 5th grade, which I said I did not want to think about, but here I am. Back in 4th, 5th grade, you were learning multiplication and long division, and they'd give you 2 or 3 ways to do that, which is good. Everyone learns different, so you want to know different ways to do stuff. But then they will make you do one of those ways. For example, on homework or during even a test, they'll be like, all right, solve this multiplication problem using an area model. You don't like using an area model? That's too bad.
And it's never very intuitive, because you're always shown examples, which are good. Examples are very good. But you're never actually told, the process. So you're just said, okay, you do it this way, and... well, we're not actually going to tell you, what... you kind of on your own for figuring out actually what the process is. So good luck with that.
Learning why something works in math is pretty important.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you don't want to just be blindly following stuff. Although school would want you to blindly follow stuff. They want you to just follow what they say. You don't have to think for yourself.
No. So, it's very bad. And again, none of this is normal. None of what's happening in school is normal. Just think of that. And even with online schooling, I mean, nobody ever learns in one room, regardless of what's in that room. That's just not how humans work. So, just remember that none of what's happening is normal. This is not regular. You're kind of going against human nature here, really. But you're trying to learn with no real world stuff. You're not being prepared for the real world. And, well, you're going to suffer for that. You are going to suffer and suffer and suffer until you become a cog in the wheel, for instance. Very bad. Very bad things. And then also, you look at what's being, how they're teaching, like, history, for instance. Nobody knows why they're learning these things. Nobody knows, and, like, for me personally, I have a very, very, very hard time doing something if I don't understand why I'm doing it. That's just me. That's just me. I mean, I think it's a bit different for everyone, sort of what your barrier is for learning, because everyone kind of has one. For me, it's just I cannot do something if I don't know why. It's just very, very difficult. And school, it makes it just so much worse of a process, because it's so hard for me to do stuff if I don't know why I'm doing it.
It's like you're going on a road trip, except you don't know where you're going. Someone's moving the wheel, and you're just kind of sitting there.
Yeah, you're driving without the headlights on as well. I mean, you don't know where you're going. You don't know why this is happening. You don't know what's going on. You just know that you have to fill out this paper.
And then every pit stop you make, you have to take a quiz.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just such a unnatural process, and that's kind of the key to it, I guess. I don't know, but it's very unnatural, but again, I mean, this isn't how it's supposed to work. This isn't how humans are supposed to work, and that's why when you're sitting in school, you're sitting in that chair. You've been sitting in it for 2 hours, and you're distracted. You're really, really distracted. You want to talk to the people around you. You want to look around you. I mean, the walls are much more interesting than anything that's being taught most of the time. You got all sorts of stuff on the walls. You got posters. You got cars. You know, those little toy cars. You got stuff hanging from the ceiling. You got little paper airplanes. I don't know, all sorts of stuff all over the walls. It can be fun to look at. Much more fun than, whiteboard. Learn this. Remember this.
But here's where schools are like, no, we do have you learn outside because there's field trips, and we take the kids on field trips to the most interesting places of all, where you are not very restricted by a group of like 5 kids and their parent.
Yeah, that's what qualifies now as real world learning. It's kind of funny, but that's real world learning for you. Enjoy it while it lasts,
Let's go to the aquarium, kids. That'll be fun.
Yeah. And of course, you don't even get that anymore because, well, a certain unspecified virus of unknown origin. So, you don't even get that anymore. And it's just one big bubble where you cannot learn. You cannot learn here.
Alright, everyone, it's time to go on a field trip to the backyard, which I just realized is snowing.
Oh, it's snowing. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either. It wasn't snowing 10 minutes ago.
Nope.
We're gonna go on a field trip to the backyard. Pick up a rock. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
Nature. That's fun.
It's just a horrible process, and nothing about it is normal. I mean, you're literally trying to break, like, 200,000 years of conditioning to learn outside. You're trying to break that within the span of, however long, I mean, like 100 years, really. And that's just not going to happen. You're not going to break that, so it's just going to get worse and worse until everyone except the very top, which goes to these elite schools, is reduced down to nothing. They're just little servants. You don't control your life. You don't control anything now. That's all it is.
Fun. And then, I remember once, not to go over what you did, but back to the field trip thing. It was like 100 degrees outside. It's like, kids, you want to learn about important people in American history?
Oh,
that'll be fun.
Oh yeah.
It's 100 degrees out. Have fun.
You're sweating like crazy, but here, let me show you my turtles. It's gonna be great. You'll love it.
Jeez, field trips are such a joke. They're really not good. I don't know who decides the locations you go to in a field trip, but I think I'd be fired.
I think I've had one good field trip, maybe 2. I don't know.
Yeah, probably.
But anyway, I think that's about it. So, is that anything else you want to say?
No, I think that's about it.
Well, you can check out the description below, and please do share the video. That'd be super awesome. And if you could like and subscribe and leave a comment, that would be much, much appreciated. So, until next time, I've been your host, Jay.
And I've been producer Brooke.
We are signing off, and have I just did that wrong. Have a great rest of your day. Goodbye.
Yep.